it's Ronnie, and welcome to my 2,000 subscriber hop and giveaway. Yeah, we are going to have a giveaway, so stay to the end to find out what you need to do to be in the giveaway. And you will see links down there below to my scrappy friends that are joining in, and some may scrap lift me and some may not. I just want them to have fun on the hop, and I'm glad that they joined in too. And I'm going to scrap this one. This is a layout I did a while back, and it's of my niece Kayla, and I'm scooting it down just a little bit. Oh, you cannot see anyway. I actually looked up the screen. But yeah, scooting it down just a little bit so you can see there is something at the top, including the title. And yeah, there, you can see it better. But this layout has two photos, and I'm only going to have one, and they're 4x4s, I believe is what they were, and I'm going to have a portrait style one. So mine's going to be taller in this area than my original one. But I did use Echo Park from the looks of it, and I am going to use Echo Park and Photo Play. I am going to scrap this photo right here of my son and 3 of his kids, and they're at the zoo. And it's also punched out Thursday, so there might be some people down there below that are doing both, and I'm doing both. So I'll be using punches. In case you're not familiar with it, you hopped over here from another channel. On Punched Out Thursday, you use your dies and your punches. So I will be using dies and punches. This one is Spellbinders, Large Die of the Month, July 2020. Echo Park letterbox, and those are adorable little letters. I have this Memento one, and all I'm going to use is these 2 leaves right here. I am going to use all of these, and they're Spellbinders too. I don't have the thing on the back, but they are Spellbinders. And then well, this is a Maggie Holmes, but I'm not going to be using it. But these I got from Peachy Cheap one time with a set for Christmas, and there were a few others. But I'm going to use the antlers. I'm not going to use them as antlers, but I am going to use the antlers. And I also have this Marianne Design chicken wire. I'm going to be using that. And these are Diamond Press Tropical Foliage. I'm going to use the 2 smallest ones. I believe it's these 2 right here. And then I have ephemera. I have fussy cut butterflies, and no telling what else in there. And some more ephemera. I have scraps and bigger scraps and paper. And I'm also going to use this, and I got ink on it when I was pulling everything out. I had ink on my hands, so I will be covering this little spot up right there. And, oh, let me point this out. On here, if you could see in the background, it's not really a white, it's almost, well, in places it is gray. And it has some hash marks in there, really light. I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Up stamp and do just a little bit of mixed media on the background. And this is Peaches and Cream sequins. And then I have punches all over here. And I also have some inks. But I'm going to put it on fast forward now, and I'll mention the giveaway later in the video. Well, I do think I failed to mention that the background is a super light gray. And I'm using that Studio G ink from Walmart that I got years ago. And I think the stamp is called Crosshatch. And I am stamping onto the background, and the gray that I'm stamping with is not super dark at all. It's pretty light. Maybe it's lighter than it was when I bought it. But yeah, it's pretty light. And then I'm using some Stampin' Up! Re-inker that is gray, and putting the splatters on the background. This part right here is from the wreath from Spellbinders, and I cut one all the way apart, but then I went ahead and cut with the scrap that was there, another little piece, and I'm cutting them off and making sure each one's got a little curl on the end. and inking them. And then I'm going to ink my antlers. And I'm going to use them as branches on my layout. The scrap that I had that was wood grain was kind of on the gray side, and I wanted them to be more brown. So I'm inking them in brown. And then the ink I'm using on the flowers and the center of the flowers is Autumn Terracotta by Close to My Heart. It's an older color. I fussy cut that sign out there. I talked about that in another video. It may not have aired yet though. But yeah, I fussy cut it out and I'm going to use it on the layout. They're at the St. Louis Zoo in those pictures. In those pictures, one picture, I only have one. And uh, I thought the sign would look cute sitting out there in front. And on the original layout, it had paper there. It's not as tall as the paper that I'm using, but I figured since I had a portrait style photo, I can't even talk. Can you tell it's wee hours of the morning? But yeah, I did cut a tiny bit out here because I put foam tape under the photo. Then when I went to put the grass on there, I decided I didn't need the foam tape, so I took it back off. So really that's all you missed other than me laying that scalloped piece down. And that is an embossed scallop border. And I went ahead and used it and laid it over there to the side. But the grass border is Fiskars, and then I have one that's bubbles. You can see it up there on the left. I do forget to show it, but I went to lay it down, and half was showing of the grass. Well, not half. The very tops of the little circles cut in that strip were showing the grass, and the other part was showing the gray. So I am going to end up backing that in a dark brown. And uh, I used my chicken wire because I figured they're at the zoo. There's fencing at the zoo. Maybe not chicken wire, but I love my chicken wire dyes. So any chance to use them, I probably will use them. The papers I'm using are two different zoo collections. One is Echo Park and one is Photoplay. So the colors are pretty good for a zoo layout. And as you can see from the picture, they're in like a little cubby kind of thing, cave looking thing. I'm not sure. They didn't give me no info on this photo. And since this is kind of in the middle of the night, um, yeah, I didn't want to call and ask. So I just went ahead and used it. So they did spend the day at the zoo. And I know they took a couple of breaks because they were tired and their feet were hurting. But I'm not sure if that's this one or not. Um, the original layout has angled papers up there at the top, so I'm making the angled papers, and it was a lift, I believe, on the 30 days of sketches, maybe March. And it had the title up there too. Well, all the letters were small in the original title that I scrap lifted. So I made the one that I previously made with small letters. But I got to thinking, wouldn't it look cute if I had some longer letters hanging down? And it kind of reminds me of Jingle if you first glance at it. But yeah, it's Jungle. So my title is It's a Jungle Out There. And yeah, I thought there is underneath that overhang. So I thought it's a jungle out there was a cute title since I was not sure what they were doing under there. I'm just now getting to the part where I'm putting all those flowers on. I did ink all the flowers and all the greenery. Well, everything got inked and assembled them, and all the flowers have a center. There's no naked ones in there. I almost forgot, if you noticed, I almost forgot and I had to put them on. And the little teeny tiny centers, did have to use the tweezers on them. And boy, were my hands inky and have glue all over them by the time I got done anyway. But while I'm doing all that and putting the sequins on, I want to mention that down there below are the links to all my scrappy friends that are joining me today for my celebratory hop and giveaway. And so make sure you check out all their links and see what they did to help me celebrate. And I want to mention the giveaway, of course. I want to thank all of you so very much for being subscribers. And I'm going to have a $25 gift certificate to scrapbook.com for one lucky winner. And all you have to do is leave a comment down there below and like the video. So yeah, I really, really appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate you watching, of course. And I also appreciate the comments that you leave. I do read everyone, and I work on responding to all of them. But when we do these 30-day things, yeah, I get behind, and sometimes it takes me a while to catch up. Well, I'm not sure I've ever caught up. But since the first time I did the 30-day one, I got behind. But I want to thank you all so much. It has been wonderful sharing my layouts with all of you, and I really, really appreciate it. So, $25 gift certificate, leave a comment, like the video, and of course, number one, be a subscriber, because this is celebrating the subscribers on my channel. So, yeah, and make sure you watch everybody else's and give them some love. And like I said, see what they are doing to help me celebrate today. I go back to the layout and tell you where I'm at. Let's see where I'm at. I have put the sequins on there. And I got to looking at it and thought, oh, I'm done, you know. And as soon as I decided I was done, I decided I also needed one more little cluster down there. And in the original, I don't have one there. I don't know why I thought I needed one on this layout, but I did. And I also cut butterflies out for this layout and forgot about them until I was showing all the things that I would be using on this layout. And I looked at the layout and thought, I don't even know where I'd put them. So they don't make it on the layout. And the peaches and cream sequins that I'm using, I'm leaving the silver out. So if y'all happen to notice any silver fall on there, they got left out because I decided I didn't want them on here. They didn't seem to go. So they did not go on the layout. And there's my Fiskars punch, and see the scallop one is embossed. And you got to push kind of hard, so I got to make sure I'm standing up when I use that one, because otherwise it does not emboss like it should. It might be getting old, because I kind of think it embossed better years ago. And let's see, there's my chicken wire. And yeah, I think for a zoo layout, I needed to use my chicken wire die. And the little wreath, see how it has a curl? And I made sure each one of them had a curl on the end when I cut them apart. And also the original layout has that plaid, and since the zoo paper had some plaid in it, I thought I'd use that on my layout. And yeah, and I use that sign, and I think that is the cutest sign. But yeah, I fussy cut it out of a 3x4 card, I believe it was. And there's my jungle. I did layer it twice. I did it with one of the greens, a darker one that I used. And then, well, I think it's kind of an apricot. It's a very, very old piece of cardstock. Both of them are. They're very, very thin. So that was another reason I used two colors. But again, I want to thank y'all so very much for watching my videos. And thank you for leaving comments too. They always make me smile. I really enjoy reading them. But if you leave one down there this time, you will get your name in the drawing if you also hit the like video, and make sure you're subscribed. See a red box up there on the right hand side? Click it and hit the bell if you want to receive notifications. But have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Follow along on the hop and have some fun. Bye.